Welcome back to the Big Country YouTube channel. And today, the biggest question we've had here lately, which motorcycle are you gonna pick whenever you win a motorcycle from Big Country? Is it gonna be the Suzuki or is it gonna be the Honda? Well, today I have wrote down a list of things that is particular to these two motorcycles, and we're gonna go over and see for ourselves if I can help you decide which one you're gonna pick. Are you gonna be Zoot Nation or are you gonna join the Honda gang? So first of all, if you are new to the channel or just tuning in to check out these bikes because maybe you've heard about this giveaway. So starting Labor Day, there will be 150 Big Country stickers for sale on bigcountry.shop. Now on bigcountry.shop, on Labor Day, you can go on there and you can buy one of these stickers. They will be $100 each, but once they're sold out, they are gone. That will be probably only, no way this giveaway lasts over a couple days. So I'm telling you, you guys better set your alarms. You better be ready, because on Labor Day, you're gonna have to get over there and get you one of these stickers if you want the chance to win one of these bikes. But anyways, quick update on them. Everything's good on the Suzuki. She's great. Everything's ready to go. Last time we took the Honda to the track, we did realize that it had a leaky fork seal. So it can't just sit here and look pretty like the Suzuki does today. It is over here. Excuse our mess. We got a bunch going on getting ready for the race. But the Honda is getting some new fork seals. So she is taken apart right now. And like I said, I want to give these things away to you guys. I want them to be right, you know. I don't want there to be any issues, anything like that. So we saw a little bit of oil dripping on the driver's side fork. So we're just going to go ahead and put brand new fork seals in both forks and fix that. After that's done, this bike will be 100% ready to rock and roll. That's been the only issue, and it just popped up here recently. And me personally, for what I do with racing the bike, I would never even fix the fork seals. It doesn't really matter on drag racing applications, and the way we keep it strapped down all the time doesn't affect it. But for you guys, I don't want this thing leaking. I want it to be right, and that's exactly what it's going to be. But you guys, you see there's a bunch going on here, and I can't go too slow because I don't want y'all to see the upcoming projects. There's one right under our camera right here. It's a big deal. You might have caught a glimpse of it. If not, go back and see. There's one right over here that is a big deal that's going on. But look, Melania, she is getting ready. We got a race coming up, XDA, this next weekend. If you guys got the chance or opportunity to go to Richmond, Virginia Motorsports Park, we will be there. We have to, look guys, we went the other night, tested Melania. Melania has been going through one heck of a rough patch, okay? We went out, made one good pass with it, and it went fast. Second pass, snapped a gear in the transmission. So, you know what? This is Saturday. Before next weekend, we will be racing. So we got to drop that engine out, tear the whole engine apart. We're going to drop a brand new transmission in it, put it all back together, put the engine back in, and have this puppy ready to run at Richmond. Fingers crossed that nothing else is broke when we get in there, because we got a brand new transmission, but that's about all that we got, because parts are scarce, parts are hard to find, and when you break them as fast as we do, and as much as we do with these race bikes, that's part of it, guys. You have to scrounge to get these parts. We're having a transmission next day aired. It will be here Monday morning, And at that point, we will be ready to drop the transmission in this puppy and get started and hopefully get it back together so that we can go racing. But a lot of y'all probably never got to see Melania in what we call naked form. Here it is, a lot going on, 1 million approximate wires in there. Lots of stuff going on with Melania, but this might not look like it right now, but is the fastest no wheelie bar motorcycle in the world. The only bike to ever go in the 5-second zone in the quarter mile. We did it here, more mafia. But anyways, let's get back. Let's go over, like I said we were going to do in the original intro here. We're going to go over, I got a list of stuff, the pros and cons, the pros of the Gsxr, the pros of the Honda, and let's just see if we can figure out which bike we would choose if I were you. Guys, don't forget that right now, if you go on, you can sign up and become a member on YouTube. If you become that member on YouTube, you're gonna get 24-hour early access to this giveaway. Okay, so what that means is that if this giveaway fills up really fast, so let's say on Labor Day, it fills up within 24 hours and you're on the lake on Labor Day. You get home, you get off the lake, all that, you go on bigkountry.shop, buy your sticker, it says sold out. You're gonna be like, holy crap, I'm an idiot because I didn't guarantee myself a chance to win this motorcycle for $100. So go on there, become a member. All you gotta do is hit join on the channel. It's $5 a month, but that's gonna give you 24 hours early access. That way, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna send everybody that's a member a message to a link. That link is gonna have the option to buy the sticker. You're gonna get that 24 hours before everyone else. So it's pretty much a guarantee that you're gonna be able to buy one. Guys, don't miss the chance to get in on this giveaway. I'm sure we're gonna do more in the future, but you may never have the chance to get a motorcycle like this again. I'm not gonna build one just like either one of them ever again. So if you love one of these motorcycles, you have to get in. All right. All right, guys, so since we can't put both bikes together because we got the Honda over there on the lift, I'm gonna go through about half of this in front of the Gsxr just where I can go over some things and you can get a good look at it. Zoom in if you want to. Check out everything. I've posted tons and tons of videos of both these motorcycles. So like I said, if you have any questions or haven't seen these bikes, go back through my other videos because these things have been on the channel for a while now. And I mean, I think I have shown every single piece of this bike and the Honda. Two great motorcycles. So anyways, I had to make me a cheat sheet because there's a lot of stuff and I don't want to forget anything whenever we go to look over this stuff. And I probably still will forget some stuff, but this is what I took the time to write down and I think I got it all. So the biggest question, what would you pick if you win this motorcycle? So let's say you get the call or you see that your chip was drawn whenever it comes time to win this. And obviously a lot of you guys are gonna be Honda Gang already or Zoot Nation. Well, that's probably gonna be an easy pick for you then because you already know that you only love Suzuki or you only love Honda. But guys, there is a ton of people out there that are gonna buy this that aren't gonna know what they're gonna do. Because here's the thing, I thought when I bought the Honda that I was 100% Zoot Nation. Now I have come to realize I have changed, guys. Now I ain't gonna say I'm 100% Honda Gang, but I'm telling you right now, if you have the option between these two motorcycles, I really don't know what would be the better option. Now, obviously when we go over this, it's probably gonna help because there's gonna be certain things that you wanna do with your motorcycle that is gonna prove that this is a better motorcycle or the Honda is a better motorcycle. So it really depends on just what you wanna do. I know whenever I go to do a certain application, whether it be drag strip, street race, whatever, I know which one of these motorcycles I would rather get on and go ride. All right, so The first thing that's pretty important, we got a 2023 Gsxr 1000 and a 2021 CBR 1000. All right, so right off the rip, the Gsxr is 2 years newer. So obviously the value of it is gonna be higher. The CBR's retail value, $17,000. Now that is a bone stock, completely brand new motorcycle. It was $17,000 with zero mods, zero anything. The 23 Gsxr, retail value at $18,000. Now keep in mind this is an R model Gsxr. So it has different suspension and a few other, I don't know, gizmos and gadgets that the R model has just to make it more valuable. Okay, now keep in mind both of these motorcycles do have salvage titles. They have both been wrecked. If you go back in my videos, you can watch and see. You can see when I brought this bike in. You can see when I brought the Honda in. You can see me go fast on both of them. They're both fast. They're both 100% straight, and there's no issues with either one of them. The Suzuki only has 477 miles on it as of right now. The Honda has 3,135 miles. So obviously right there, the Suzuki is probably, if you're just gonna win this and resell the motorcycle, the Suzuki is probably your better choice because the Suzuki obviously has a higher value. That's because of mileage, year model, but then again, maybe it's not as valuable to you because let's move on to something else. Maybe you're interested in the top speed. All right, so now your average comparison between Gsxr and CBR, this is an average comparison, guys. We're comparing this motorcycle and that CBR, okay? Top speed, CBR is gonna knock this thing out of the park, okay? That is mainly because we are geared like crazy. We got different transmission ratio and we got a really, really tall sprocket on the back of this thing because we're going through and topping out the speed in the quarter mile. So this thing goes through the quarter mile and touches the rev limiter right after the quarter mile and goes 160 miles an hour. So your top speed on this motorcycle is gonna be about 160 or 165. The Honda, it's gonna be all over the 195 to 200 mile an hour zone top speed. So maybe that's a big factor to you. Maybe you wanna be able to say that you have a really high top speed motorcycle. Honda, check on that box, okay? Next, obviously you want to go drag racing. All right, acceleration factor, the Suzuki is going to take that one, okay, all day long. You know why? Because of that same gearing, transmission, all of that. The Honda is geared for the top speed because it's a short wheelbase and everything. This thing here, long wheelbase, geared to freaking tear up out of there. So acceleration is gonna be crazy, crazy fast on this thing, okay? So then when you go to the drag strip, let's say you're a drag racer. If you're a drag racer, obviously you already know this is probably a no-brainer for you. You know, if you're just looking to buy something to go to the track and you don't really race on the street or anything like that, the Gsxr is probably not just here between this and the Honda, this is probably the best platform that you could possibly buy for like a street slash strip motorcycle, okay? This thing went an 846 with me on it, okay? That is incredible, okay? Crazy, crazy fast with a 200-pound rider on it. Went 830s with Chris on it, 150-pound rider. The Honda has been a 924. Now that is super fast for a stock wheelbase motorcycle. So really good comparison there. The Honda's fast on the track, but nothing like this Gsxr. Gsxr's taking that one. Check on Suzuki on that side. Now, let's say you're a street racer, roll racer, anything like that. Guys, this thing, as long as it is, not gonna perform well on the street for racing. Now you're more than welcome. You can ride this thing from here to California if you want to. But if you get in a race with somebody, that tire is probably going to spin. It's just too long. It's set up for the drag strip. Now, that doesn't mean that you couldn't change this motorcycle if you got it and change a lot of these check marks over to the Suzuki side. But as they sit, if you were to race right now this motorcycle versus the CBR 1000 in the street, CBR 1000 is going to gap it, because this is going to spin and this is going to run out of mile per hour really, really quick, because it's only made to go from 0 to a quarter mile. All right, next, the handling, okay? Obviously, here we go again. This bike isn't set up for turns. This bike isn't set up to go to the mountains. Now, that doesn't mean you can't take this bike to the mountains. You can take this bike, you could ride it, you can go wherever you want to go. It'll do it, man. I mean, you can lean it over, do all that stuff. But is it gonna handle like that stock wheelbase motorcycle? Heck no, man. The Honda, it freaking handles like a dream, dude. I'm telling you, that thing, we got it lowered and everything. It's nothing but a few adjustments. Raise it back up, let the strap off, and you got a basically stock wheelbase, stock height motorcycle that you could tear up the mountains, take it to a track day, whatever you want to do. The Honda's taking that check on the handling. Now, what else? Man, I literally have 2 pages here. I'm trying to put all the stuff together. Let's see, horsepower. That would be another one that maybe you're one of these guys that care so much about the dyno. Big Kountry hears it all the time. Oh, my CBR made this much power. Yours only makes this. How is yours so fast? Look, guys, dyno numbers, they don't mean everything. But when it comes to horsepower, the Suzuki, she's going to have more horsepower than the Honda. From what we've seen, we got that Honda really, really chooched up. She's doing the damn thing, but we're still seeing it's going to be about 5 horsepower less than the Suzuki on any given day. Now, that is with both bikes on race fuel or both bikes on pump gas, whatever may be the case. The Suzuki's always still about 5 horsepower more. Now, that's really saying something, because most Hondas are about 10 to 15 less horsepower than this Suzuki on any given day that you put it on. So how about that for your more mafia horsepower and Big Kountry setup motorcycle? That's what I'm talking about. Now, you look at the electronics on them, all right? So when I say electronics, I'm talking about your gauges, and also the Honda has race tools. That's really, really cool feature. So you can put a 2-step and stuff on the Suzuki. It's set up on this one. Whenever you come to get it, it's gonna come with whatever flash you want. So do we add the pops and bangs? Do we take the pops and bangs off? Do we put the 2-step? Do you want pump gas? Do you want race fuel? All of this, I've told Chris, look, when my guy comes, he's gonna get to pick, or maybe it's a woman, but you're gonna get to pick what tune you want in this motorcycle when you roll out of it, okay? So the electronics, I'm giving the check to the Honda, okay? Because the Suzuki has kept everything really, really simple with the Gsxr. Now the Gsxr might be the most user-friendly motorcycle that there is, but when it comes to the fancy gadgets and electronics, the Honda has them beat. So the Suzuki has a pretty basic dash. Not much going on with the dash. It's all just has no color. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, the Suzuki's just kind of simple, I guess. I don't really know. But the Honda, on the other hand, is a little more advanced, because the Honda, for one, has a cool color dash. You can enter in, you know, a cool custom saying or whatever. Like mine, it says country on it. Stuff like that. The dash is cool. I do like the shift light and stuff better on the Suzuki. Maybe that's just what we got used to and I've done a lot, but I like the shift light. The Honda, though, with the race tools package, you're able to do a lot with that. Mainly the launch control. The launch control is really a cool feature. I'm pretty sure you can set up launch control on the Suzuki too, but it is not nowhere near as tunable as the Honda. So it's pretty neat. The Honda, we can set that up, and you pretty much can hold this thing wide open with the clutch pulled in. It'll when you let the clutch out. It won't allow you to give too much throttle. It'll and let the motorcycle launch for you. Really cool. All the MotoGP guys and road race guys, you see them, they have launch control like that because those guys can't ride like us drag racers. Whenever you go to the looks department, that's the next thing I got on here. Now that's gonna be a lot of based on what you think. Me personally, I cannot say that I like the looks of this motorcycle better than the Honda, and I can't say I like the Honda better than this Suzuki. I think they are both extremely badass. I mean, I designed and picked out every part on them myself, so it's not like I'm gonna say, oh well, I don't really like the red. Nah, I handpicked this red out. I handpicked these wheels out. I did all of that and did it exactly how I want it. So I can't tell you which one looks better because I think they both look awesome in their own form. So maybe you don't like the stretched swing arm. Well, then obviously you're gonna like the Honda better. Maybe you don't like the way a stock wheelbase bike looks. Well, you're gonna like this one, you know? So that's gonna be completely up to you. The next thing we come on to are the brakes. The brakes are gonna be identical on both motorcycles. You know why? Because I took the Honda braking system off and put on Gsxr Brembo brakes. So what that means is you pretty much have the better Gsxr brakes. From the factory, the Gsxr has much better brakes. And so we went in and swapped those over. Now, they do both only have one front brake. Guys, I've heard it, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. These brakes will stop just fine in any situation that you get into. Now, maybe you want to be a stunner and do wheelies and stuff, you might have to add rear brakes back to the Honda. But when it comes to brakes, they're both checks on both of them, exact same brakes. But let's move over to the Honda and talk a little bit more about the rest of this stuff where you guys can see it. Alright, so this one's a little bit harder to get my camera set up because we have got really a lot of secret machines sitting around here. There's one really big YouTube secret sitting over there. There's one right here. I mean, I can touch it, but you guys can't see it. We got four YouTube projects all sitting here. So guys, if you think that for any moment the content's about to slow down, or you're worried about once I give one of these motorcycles away, we're not gonna have new content coming in, you are crazy, because I've been sitting here, I'm waiting on this giveaway to get over so I can show you guys these new badass products we got coming in. But anyways, don't get too hyped up about that yet, because we gotta get this over with first. And that's coming up after Labor Day. So the next thing we got on the list, we went over so far the top speed, we went over the acceleration, drag race, street race, handling, the electronics, we went over the retail price, we went over the looks, the brakes. The next thing I got on my list here is the weight. Alright, so I just went ahead and Googled because I haven't had a chance to weigh these motorcycles yet, but stock form, CBR, 430 pounds. The Gsxr, 445. So you're looking at 15 more pounds there. Now, obviously, neither one of these motorcycles are stock. But here's the thing. They both have about the same mods as far as weight reduction. They both have Cormoto wheels. They both have ABS delete. They both have triple tree key switch delete. I mean, tons of weight modifications. But still, guys, the Suzuki with the longer swing arm, the longer chain, and stuff like that, they both have full titanium exhaust. The Honda's still going to be less weight, okay? We started out with 15 less pounds. I'm going to say it's probably 20 to 25 less pounds right now going to the Honda, okay? Honda is about one of the lightest 1000s you can get. A lot of people don't know that. CBR, really, really light from the factory, okay? So the next thing, sound. All right, I know you guys have seen the sound clip that we did with Chris's giveaway Gsxr and the CBR and the R1. 90% of the people that were not biased to their brand said the Honda was the best sounding motorcycle there. This Honda, man, with the pops and bangs and how it shoots the fire and all the cool stuff, the sound of the Honda, you got to give the sound check to the Honda. Now the Suzuki, it sounds sweet, but it just don't do the cool rowdy stuff like the Honda, man. The Honda, I mean, it's just cool. You can rev it, pow, pow, shoot that fire. Freaking sweet, man, when you roll in a parking lot and you can do a light show for them. The Suzuki, it just don't do that for us, man. I don't know, Suzuki, it's like they had just a mission to make a really, really freaking fast, simple motorcycle. And they did that. But man, there's so many cool things that the Honda does. All right, comfort and rideability is the next thing, okay? So comfort-wise, this is my opinion, because I know how a lot of you people are, but the Honda is more comfortable, guys. You've heard it here first. I've rode them both. I have a stock wheelbase Gsxr. I have stock wheelbase Honda. I've rode them both a lot. The most comfortable one out of the two is the Honda. I don't know, it's something about the way that you sit and everything on it. I don't know, just whenever I feel like the Gsxr, you're more crunched up, if that makes sense. The Honda, you're a little bit better positioned on it, and maybe it's the way the tank is made too. I don't know. The Honda is just really, really comfortable. The Honda's a great motorcycle, guys. I just, the more that I've had it and the more that I rode it and did stuff with it, I fell so much in love with this motorcycle. It's really a cool bike, and that's where it really comes down to where people ask me, well, which one would you get? I really don't know. Like, that Suzuki is so badass. Like, the cool thing for me is I got them both, so I get to pick which one I want. If I want to go to the drag strip, I'm taking the Suzuki, man. If I want to go to bike night, I'm taking the Honda, bro, because I mean, you're seeing all these check marks, dude. The Honda, she's outperforming the Suzuki on a lot of the just general riding stuff, okay? And when it comes to doing repairs, that's the next thing I got on my list. Suzuki again, because like if you have to take the fairings off the Honda, or you have to get to the air box or something like that, I've learned I've got good at working on the Honda and I can do it pretty fast, but the Suzuki is so simple. I mean, 3 bolts takes the side fairing off. This thing has got 9 or 10 bolts just in this bottom fairing here. Man, I'm telling you, there's a lot more bolts, a lot more work, all of that to work on this motorcycle. Plus, the Suzuki, I mean, it was just like built to be worked on. Whoever engineers and designs Suzuki stuff, whether it be the Gsxr or the Hayabusa, dude, I mean, they're just a whole nother world from all other motorcycles. And don't even get me started on Kawasaki. Kawasaki may be the worst in that department. Now, flashing. Now, I don't know, this might be something that you guys don't even ever run into, because maybe you get this bike and you have it flashed to whatever you want it to right here and you never flash it ever again. That's completely fine. But for us, when we take them to the track and all of that stuff, and as much as we've had to test and tune and change on these things, man, the flashing side of the things is a big deal. The Suzuki, you can flash the ECU. It has an on-bike harness,
So Chris can literally plug into it, flash the ECU, 5 minutes, we can change the tune, whatever we want to in it, it's done. The Honda, they don't make an on-bike harness for it. You have to take the tank shell off, you have to pull the ECU out, you have to bench flash the ECU, and that's for safety reasons because it takes so long to flash the ECU, and it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to make a change to the tune. Like I said, probably never ever gonna affect y'all, but as I'm making this list, I know every single time I'm like, Chris, I need to make a change on the Honda. He's like, golly, because now it's gonna be 30 minutes later before he can use his computer again, and he's pissed, okay? I tell him we need to make a change on Suzuki, he's like, bloop, 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 bloop. 2 minutes later, freaking bike's done, we done flashed it, made the change, she's good to go. So we're getting close to the end here, guys. We've really went over most all this stuff now. We're looking now aftermarket support, okay? Aftermarket support on the Suzuki, obviously another check for the Suzuki. That is a huge deal. You can get anything you want for the Suzuki and probably have 5 different ones to choose from. The Honda, you're lucky if they make it, and if they do make it, there's only one company that makes it, and that's the one you gotta get. So that goes for everything. I mean, the clutch, I mean, we had a custom make swing arm for the other one that you guys don't know all about just yet. But I'm having to have parts made for the Hondas, guys, where the Suzuki, everything's already done. It's already made. You just call up, hey, I need this for a Gsxr, rock and roll with it, you know. So if you like the bikes like they are, not a big deal. You're not going to need aftermarket support. If you want to change a bunch of stuff, like if you wanted to make this motorcycle like that one, that would be a tough task because they just don't support the mods for the Honda. The next thing and last thing that I got here, it's going to be another just general riding thing that's going to go check mark to the Honda, is fuel efficiency. Obviously, like I said, it just goes with the gearing and everything else. This motorcycle is going to cruise around a lot less RPMs. So if this is a motorcycle that you're thinking about riding 2, 3, 4, 5 hours away, the Honda is going to say, you know, it's going to get regular fuel mileage. You're talking about 40 miles to the gallon. Suzuki, she ain't going to get that because she's going to be up in the RPMs because of the gearing. But really, guys, that's pretty much it. That's all that I could think of to just go over real quick and just talk about it and help you decide. The next thing would be actually showing you, but we're running out of time as far as time to get ready to get rid of these things, guys. I gotta get these fork seals in. I gotta get this thing freaking ready to go because it's gonna belong, well, maybe not. Maybe it's not gonna belong to somebody else, but I have to have them both ready to go for whenever you choose whichever one you want. There's no questions. This puppy's ready. So if you're part of the Honda gang, don't worry. I'm getting this thing dialed. It's going to be right whenever you get here. If you're Zook Nation, she's already ready, guys. I don't need to do nothing to it. It's ready to go. But guys, that's going to do it for today. We've talked about it. We've went over this stuff. Hopefully now you got a better understanding of which one you would choose. Me, I still don't have a clue which one I would pick. I mean, I don't know which one I want to see go. There's not one that I'm thinking, man, I hope he takes that one, or man, I hope she takes this one. I don't know. I guess I'm just along for the ride just like you guys, and I'm going to get to see whoever picks this thing. I'm just so excited to be able to make it someone's dream to win one of these bikes. It's going to be so cool. So guys, go on bigkountry.shop, set your alarms, Labor Day, get ready for it, go join, become a member, ensure yourself that you're going to get that chance to get in on these motorcycles. But guys, the most important thing that you got to do for me after watching this video and until the next video is be sure to keep it country.